Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing? Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. Apologies for no video yesterday. I had a pretty swollen mouth, almost miraculous. I still can't really talk properly because it's still a bit swollen, but almost miraculously. It's a lot less swollen this morning. I mean, it is still swollen, but compared to yesterday, it's basically not. But yeah, so yeah, and there's no pain there, so I feel a lot better this morning. So it is strange, to be honest, because I literally had to pretty much stay in bed. I was that ill yesterday. But yeah, today loads better. So so there you go. I was meant to go and get some antibiotics this morning, but I'm not bothering with that anymore now. So yeah, we are ready to go. So yeah, with all that being said, we shall go straight over to our Bitcoin 4-hour chart. So as you can see, still very firmly in a downtrend, not managed to take out this this imaginary downward sloping trend line that we've not actually drawn in, but we can clearly see where it goes. Yeah, as you can see, a downtrend. So the trend is your friend until the end. We are at the top side of basically the downward channel or downward descending wedge. If you could actually draw just a descending wedge to the downside. Maybe we shall do that because purely because we know descending, broadening wedges are bullish. Are generally speaking bullish formations. So on that basis, we shall draw it in. But either way, nonetheless, I mean, all we're realistically looking at is this trend line here. And also these horizontals, the horizontals based on the previous lower highs. So obviously the first one we have got is this one here. So basically we call the top of this 39,000, get above 39,000. That's the first step on our two-step plan. Maybe we could call it a three-step plan to all-time highs, but a two-step plan to basically calling this the low. The second step is clearly obviously above 42. Back above 42 we would be looking very good, and then the third step to go fully bullish again is still that 58,500. So we're at an inflection point. Things not looking so bad this morning. I mean if we do tomorrow's video and we're all the way back down at 30,000 and we've got rejected here, we've swung failure above this old resistance level here, then yeah, there we go. I mean, it would look fine for price action to do that, but obviously we don't want that. We want to hold over here. We want to break above. There are some bullish things. I mean, obviously we've got the formation, the trend line we can get above. Some things in traditional markets are not looking too bad for us. Also, we've come down quite a long way. There is an increasing amount of interest in crypto as prices come down. That's how markets work. Prices come down until basically the supply meets the demand. So people wanting to sell all the supply, and when that demand reaches a point which is incentivized by lower prices, then the demand can outstrip supply, and then price can go up. Some simple economics there for you guys. But yeah, realistically speaking, just looking at this, like I said, we've done well to actually get back above this 36. That is good. If we were below 36, that would be our first step. But obviously we're above 36, so our first step is now above 39, we'll call it, and then 42. But obviously we've got to watch for moves back below 35. Because like I said, we could very easily be targeting this horizontal at this level again, 33 and then 30, and then, I mean, realistically at that point we could then also be targeting mid-20s, because that is where the low end of that trend line will come in. You could maybe adjust it to, like, I will show you how you could adjust it, but not that I'm not going to do it. You could maybe adjust it like that and have it as a downward channel, but I'll keep it how it is, just on the basis that we can then try and tell ourselves it's bullish. But like I said, this is not the most relevant trend line anyway. I'll be looking for more horizontals for levels to the downside, but this is an important one to the upside to break this downward trend, to then seek a nice move to the upside. So yes, let's have a look at our Ethereum Bitcoin. Ethereum Bitcoin, what we need to do is hope this doesn't print a head and shoulders. But yeah, as you can see, we didn't reach our target, which I cannot even tell you how frustrating and annoying for me this is, because I would pretty much have been in about 95%. 95%. Tether, or tether equivalents at this point. That was just going to be, I was going to just take it out, and even if you went higher, I was just going to sit and wait. But I did have opportunities to realistically get out, and that was just I should have done it. But hey, we all make mistakes, but it is what it is. We can't all be perfect, but yeah, annoyingly so. But yeah, we came back down, and we then did have some nice bounce and reaction off our important level here. We did lose that level, and now we just got to hope we can regain this level, because if we get rejected here and come down, I mean, yeah, basically this is probably gonna not look good, basically. And if you had to guess, you'd assume it's going to coincide with Bitcoin actually coming down to those mid 20k levels. But we could get back above here, and then continue on upwards. So we've got to keep an eye on this, because we are reaching an important point. I mean, the same as Bitcoin, we are also reaching an important point. If Bitcoin does accelerate to the upside, this could also potentially not keep up. So we could get rejected initially before maybe Bitcoin stabilizes in a less scary and more reasonable range. Maybe 42 to 50k. Maybe we stabilize and trade sideways and within this range. That would be extremely good. If we could get back up to here and start trading here by the end of this week, that would be phenomenally good. And to be honest, even trading from where we are now as a low in between 42 is going to be not bad at all. Obviously it's not bad at all, and then we can potentially not see lower prices, build a base, trade sideways, and then move up in much the same way that our good old Wyckoff distribution kind of stayed within a wider range there as it was distributing. We could potentially now accumulate maybe within this range, drifting maybe upwards, maybe some wicks below, and just get general sideways, not realistically taking out 30k, and then accumulate for then a markup. Bitcoin dominance, we'll have a look at that. As you can see, that did make a nice potentially a swing failure above our horizontal. Now it's back below. Do we come back down and go bearish? I mean, if we wanted to draw in a longer term trend line, we kind of did obviously test that and come back in. This longer term trend line didn't quite get up to that yet, but you just look at it. We had this area marked out as a major area. This is the only real target. Once we lost here, we had no real targets. This target was put in afterwards, obviously, when we got this price action here. But our only target was here and here, and then this range. And yeah, it's basically where we came down to. So nothing untoward's happening here. Things don't come down in a straight line, even though this was. But yeah, we're having the pullback. I mean, realistically, like I've said, even up to this trend line, around 50%, another 5%, which is double of where we've moved already. Could get us, we could then see the rejection and pull back down, but we'll just have to play it how it goes, because we could just be coming down from here if Bitcoin can stabilize. I do think we are still in a bull market. I just think we're having basically a very fast mini bear market within the bull market. I mean, we cannot obviously say a 55% pullback from top to bottom, over 55% pullback is a normal regular pullback. It is basically a mini bear market within the bull market. But as long as we don't come too much further down, then yeah, I mean, this has happened before in other bull runs, and then we do basically recover and then do another like 700 or 800%. So there you go. DXY, nice to see it with that 89 handle again, because this is one of the reasons why I'm kind of thinking that Bitcoin's got a good chance. It's got a good chance of basically fully recovering and going on a mission, because if this does come down, it is clearly, I mean, at these relative levels now where Bitcoin has come down to, people are probably going to be eyeing that up as a potential buy for the next move up. And you could even say the evil whale manipulators then could be looking to then catapult Bitcoin to the upside in conjunction with this and make some massive gains themselves. Stock futures as well looking good. I mean, this is looking like it is potentially, I mean, coiling up for a move up. Just remember, guys, I will say it every time, ABD, anything but dollar, and also the MMT, Magic Money Tree, these are clearly all going to push stocks up, push the dollar down. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Silver still looking okay. Gold looking very good. Yeah, gold looking very good. Inflation concerns are hitting the market, but inflation is good for commodities. Bitcoin is classed as a commodity. Inflation not so good for certain stocks. And basically what happens with inflation and stocks, they initially like it, and then it gets to a point where they're like, right, this is too much, we don't like it anymore. And then generally a lot of stocks and stock markets as a whole and then not start to do as well. So yeah, something to watch out for there. Ethereum USD, we probably need to extend some of our levels along here now that we've got now that we're revisiting these levels. So obviously this being one of the more important ones, we'll just extend that along. So yeah, you can see we did this is obviously was an important level of volume of previous price action, so we did get supported at that. That basically, without even looking at it, is a VPVR, volume per volume range, basically high node. And yeah, so that obviously supported price. We're now back above this major horizontal. And then realistically, if we extend potentially this one along, back above here, so back above, well, actually 2,500, nice roundish number, over 2,500, then yeah, we could be looking at onwards and upwards. But obviously we've got to hold this one and get above 2,500, and Ethereum will be looking good again. And then, I mean, you can see as savage as this pullback has been. I mean, we're still just going up, look. Still just going up nicely since basically last year. Yeah, just it's just a healthy pullback, bro. Could it be the end of the bull market? It could be. It could be. You still would expect to bounce at some point, potentially to around the 2,500. That's why 2,500 is important. Because if we get rejected and come back down there, yeah, it could be continuing a bear market. But if we get above, then yeah, we could be looking at more upside. Not too much else for me to have a look at on here. We'll have a look at stochastics. How are they doing? 4 hour moving up. Got a lot of room to run. So could it get us up to that 39k? It could, but to be honest, like I said, I would more be just hoping that this 4 hour can just keep us above 36k. Really, the trend is down, the pressure is down. It is a bit optimistic to target basically breaking above. Well, it is actually 39k we want to get above, but yeah, I realistically would take holding above 36, to be honest. So if the 4 hour could do that for us, with its move to the upside, that would be great. And then we need to really rely on some of the 10, 12 hour and daily to actually get us above that 39,000. And 10 hour could be looking to turn back up. 12 hour is pointing down, downward pressure. Daily is up from a low level, so this is what gets going, could get us above 39k, and then looking towards 42. 2 day coming down from a very low level also. 3 days still diving, but eventually will turn up. 5 day looking to turn back up. Weekly still diving. Bi-weekly diving, monthly still coming down. But yeah, we don't really look at those so much. But yeah, that, I mean, I would look for the 4 hour and the daily for us to keep us up there, help turn over the 10. And this is such a weird way of talking about stochastics, but I'd be looking at the 4 hour to feed through to the 10 hour and 12 hour to get them moving up, and the daily to get moving up as well, to basically get us above 39 at least. If that happens, it will get us above 39 at least, and then give us a shot at this 42, at which case things will start to look a lot better. This will just look like some obviously distribution pullback, and then once we get back above here, things will start to look bullish again. I mean, people do say you expect as much sideways as you did in the distribution as you do for the accumulation, and we may get that, but I do feel like we may get that, but if the dollar is going to take a dive and stock market is going to look good, this is the riskiest of risk on assets, and I think this may surprise people with how long it does trade sideways down at these levels. I think whilst it won't be a V, I think we could at least find our way into a healthier zone of basically, like I said, 42 to 50. And trade sideways within here before then moving onwards and upwards to 100k plus. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for listening. This is not financial advice. There are some massive pumps in some altcoins I'm looking at here. I'm seeing 20%, 23s, 25s, 50%, 30%, 30% all over the place. So yes, all is not potentially lost. Yeah, I mean, all I will say is, guys, in hindsight, this may look so obvious, an obvious pullback and obvious accumulation before we go to 100k, if that's what happens in hindsight. But at the time, it is always going to be scary. You're always going to doubt yourself, because if you didn't, just trading would be too easy. This is how, especially in crypto, bull markets work. Like I said, I was always expecting an undershoot or an overshoot of the traditional 40% pullbacks in Bitcoin bull markets. So to get an overshoot, say 55, even 60 if we come a bit lower, like I said, crypto, it can't make it easy for you. It can't make it easy. The overshoot is fine. It wasn't an undershoot like I was hoping, expecting, like it was looking like we're going to get an overshoot. We got the overshoot. It's just a pullback, and then can we continue upwards? That is the bull case. That is my ever optimistic. I'm not ever optimistic, to be honest. I will want, if this is a bull case, we do get above 100k, I would just be looking to get out, and I wouldn't be like, oh, we're targeting 250, 300. In which case I may be wrong. I don't care, but I'll be done and dusted. But I'm just saying, I'm not ever optimistic. I'm not just continue up. I'm not up only. Basically, I'm not up only. I will be looking and expecting for actual proper downside at some point, just not yet. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Remember, it's not financial advice. Yeah, apologies again yesterday for the lack of video. First time I've done that in ages. It was a tough decision for me to not drag myself down and do one, but I couldn't really talk. I felt awful. And honestly, the difference I feel today is I'm slightly surprised, and my dentist is surprised as well, at like how bad it was yesterday to how fine it is okay. But yeah, so thanks for listening. I shall speak to you guys tomorrow.